Okay, aloha everybody. Aloha mai kākou. We're here in Papaʻolelo. This is Mele and Moʻolelo. And today Mele and Moʻolelo is all the way from Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. So I'm going to introduce today's Mele, and then we'll kuka e pile ana no ka mele. Mahope o ke kani ana ma ko ukulele. So after we play them and sing them, then we'll talk about this mele. E hoʻonene anō i ke ia mele. E mele ke ia no ke akua wahine o Kilauea o hale maʻumau o ia HoʻI o Pele. Aia e la o Pele HoʻI e aia i kalihi i puna i Hawaii aia i ke komo o hale maʻumau no ka noho mauloa he apua o Hawaii. Aia e la o Pele HoʻI e aia i kalihi i puna i Hawaii aia i ke komo o hale maʻumau no ka noho mauloa he apua o no ka moku o le huakai o Pele a hiki i Hawaii i Kilauea o ke ea o ke ahi he ea no Pele pia e la Pele i ka luna no ka moku o le huakai o Pele a hiki i Hawaii i Kilauea o ke ea o ke ahi he ea no Pele pi a e la Pele i ka luna Kuana Pele i ka nue i ke kua hiwi Pele i ke kua lono e hoʻolono mai e ka mea pi i koi no Pele ka ʻaʻaʻau o ka lehua. Kuana Pele i ka nue i ke kua hiwi Pele i ke kua lono e hoʻolono mai e ka mea pi i koi no Pele ka ʻaʻaʻau o ka lehua. Naue ka ʻaina i ka hiki mai o Pele ka naue ana mai me ka hie hie pele, ka hiko lei, I ka lehua, ena I ka opua. Naue ka aina, I ka hiki mai o Pele, ka naue ana mai. E ka hie Pele, ka hiko lei, I ka lehua, ena I ka opua. Puana ia mai, o Pele HoʻI aia, I ka lihi, I puna, I Hawaiʻi aia, I ke komo. O hale mau, no ka noho mauloa, he akua o Hawaiʻi. Puana ia mai, o Pele HoʻI aia I ka lihi, I puna, I Hawaiʻi, aia I ke komo. O hale mau, no ka noho mauloa, he akua o Hawaiʻi. This ukulele is very tiny, and I get long fingers. I'm a pākiki ka hoʻokane ana no o ki ukulele. Me ku mau mana lima loloa. Ka hoʻopaʻa ana no ke ki, no ka hoʻokane ana no. So let's talk a little bit about this mele. Let's mo'olelo. Let's share the story about how this mele came about. It came about a while back when there was some kuka, some kamaʻilio ana, some haʻiolelo ana, e pili pono no kekahi akua māmua o ka noho ano o Pele I ka aina o Hawaiʻi ma Kilauea ma hale ma'u no. So, you know, it's not for me to criticize what other people say. That's not my kuleana. But it is my kuleana to share the mo'olelo as I heard it, as my kupuna no he'eia no lako told me these stories. So the issue was about ʻAilaʻAu and the latest eruption of the fire goddess Pele. And of course, you know, you can believe whatever you like. That's your kuleana. That's your choice. But then again, I'm not going to criticize you for what you believe, but I am always going to. Kupa amahope o ka olelo o ko o mau kupuna. I'm always going to stand behind the things that they told me. Ina mo'okuauhau, the genealogies, ina mo'olelo, and the history and the stories. So when this talk was happening about ʻAilaʻAu, well, okay, ho'omau no, just continue talking the stories, but The way I like to teach is very much like the way my kupuna wahine loved to teach. She loved to tell a story. And hopefully in the story, you can find the answer that you were looking for. Because many people were calling me at that time, kumukawai kapo o kalani, hiki a oi ke ho'ovehevehe no I komana oi pilano no ke ia mo o lelo. No ke ia ako o ke ahi o iho o ka ʻaʻaʻau maamua o ka hiki mai ano o Pele i ki ia aina. Can you share a little bit about, you know, what people are talking about this ka ʻaʻaʻau? And again, my response is, I'm not going to talk to you about what they're saying. I'm going to talk to you about what I know, what I understand, and what my kupuna shared with me. But one thing for sure, yeah, what I know is this. You know that fabulous book called Pele and Hi'iaka with all its hundreds of pages, yeah? That's all I need to know. That Hi'iaka ikupoli o Pele would write all this poetry. And we get them. And if you imi mo o lelo, you can find all these stories about Pele and Hi'iaka. But go research and maybe get one story, maybe two stories about ʻAilaʻAu. Now, if you like measure and you like quantify, then look at what's in front of you. See, that's what the song is talking about. If you feel this need to measure and quantify, look at the evidence that you have. Look at what's there in front of you. And the evidence is there. When you hold that book in your hand, Pele and Hi'iaka, and you look at that book, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mo'olelo and mele and oli. That's all I need to know. Everything for me after that, paupono, I don't need to know. So the mele was a reply to the people that were calling me and asking me this question. So it says, Aya a'ela, there, o Pele HoʻI, indeed is Pele. Aya a'ela o Pele HoʻI. Aya I kalihi, I Puna I Hawaii, there at the borders of Puna, the island of Hawaii. Aya I ke komo o hale ma'uma'u, there as she entered into hale ma'uma'u, no ka noho mauloa, to dwell there, to reign there as the ali'i wahine. O ke la aina, he akua o Hawaii, he akua o Hawaii. And, you know, one thing to understand about these ancient akua of Hawaii, they have mo'olelo and they have mo'okuauhau. Pele and Kamapua'a had a child, o Pelu Nui Kau Ha'alilo. And the mo'okuauhau of the Kana'e family comes from Pele and Kamapua'a's child, o Pelu Nui Kau Ha'alilo. And also, that's all I need to know. All I need to know is where I come from to understand where I am today and where I'm going to go. So understanding all of this, that's my pilipa'a, my pilina. My pilina is to my kupuna. First to my makua, then to my kupuna. Then to my kupuna kuakahi. Then to my kupuna kualua. Everything else, no need. Main thing, I get my pilina and maupopo pono, and I understand my kuleana, my blood inheritance. Not only responsibility, but blood inheritance. And that's so very, very important to know and understand today. Knowing where you are. Aya noia oi kapauku I vaina, you're here. Ahe kapa'o ahe kahi'u. Where's the head, where's the tail? The head is the past. Aya kapa mamua pono. See, the past is in front of us. The tail is the future, pushing ahead. Aya kava mahope pono. And we, ike ia au, huli nei, we're in this changing time. We are the pauku ivaina. So understanding where you can follow, where you are, and what's pushing you forward. So again, lucky and mahalo ke akua for being born with a family of kupuna akamailoa. Me ka ike no e au e pilipono no ka wā maamua. Nui no la ko mo o kuauhau, a nui no la ko mo o lelo. O ia no ke kumu o ko o ha'i mo o lelo, ha'i mo o kuauhau e pilana no ka ohana. Me ke ia papa mele a me ka mo o lelo. So anyway, so Pele in the first verse comes to Hawaii. Pele sets up her domain. Pele sets up her reign there at Kilauea at Halema'uma'u, at Mauna Loa, to become the Aku of Hawaii. So how do living people become Akua? First, if you know your Mo'olelo Hawaii in the format, you kamaiki, then keiki, then opio, then makua, and then kupuna. The next level is aumakua. And from aumakua, the next level is akua. So how does that happen? Well, people who lived a life of pono, they were pious, lived with piety, with ha'aha'a humility, dedicated themselves to pule and kahea. They were honored in the next level of transition so much that eventually they ascended to be one with the Akua. So let's look at the story of Pele. After the death of Pele Kawahine, after the death of the woman Pele, right? What happens is her family worships her as aumakua to that family. All right. Now, after time, the community, the broader, the larger community, sees the dedication of these people to their ancestor, who is Pele. They also see the fruitfulness of this family, the mahuahua o kalehua, yeah? They see the fruitfulness of this family, and they look at everything the family has become and the successes of the family through their pono and through their good work. And pono is having a constant relationship with your aumakua, your dedication to your aumakua, pule, kahea, right? Oli. They saw all of this, and of course, that family had great mana, and they all aspired to that mana. They wanted that mana. So then, the larger community also began to worship Pele. So from the family worshiping her as aumakua, the larger community now began to worship her as Akua. So Pele herself had the pono of her own ola, from kamaiki to keiki to opio, makua, kupuna, aumakua to her family, then akua to the broader community. So when people reflect that, oh, you cannot descend from an akua, you really need to look at the Hawaiian culture in the truth of the culture. And how the different levels, how the different levels move up towards the attainment of being one with the akua. Is it possible? Well, the key word to all of this is the word pono. Pono. Are you living in accordance, or are you living within the pono of your aumakua? And if you're not, you cannot bullshit. That's not the way things go. Your aumakua going to either be with you because of your pono, your dedication, or they're not. And it's not about anything else other than daily prayer, daily dedication, daily commitment through Pele, through kahea. There's no other way. It's not going to happen. And if you think it does, good luck. I bless you. Na kia kono ko ho'opo maikai. Malu no. Yeah, if you think so. So that was just included in the first verse. Shall we move on to the second? Second verse said, "Nokamoko o lehua." So when Pele traveled to Hawaii, to bring this legacy of the fire goddess Pele, coming from the island of Lehua, she journeyed to the big island of Hawaii, and at Kilauea, at Halema'uma'u, is where she and her family made their home. What is important here to remember is that prior to Pele making her home at Halema'uma'u, Pele lived for some time at He'eia on the island of Oahu. You see, and on the island of Oahu, in He'eia, are many, many mo'olelo about Pele, her sister Hi'iaka Ikapoli o Pele, her sister Ka'ohelo, her sister Malulani, her sister Vai'alani. Everything was happening at that point in He'eia. The Mauis all have connection to He'eia. Yeah, there's so many more mo'olelo to tell in this series of Mele and mo'olelo. But today we're going to focus on this story. So, the life, the breath, the spirit, the force of the fire is the life, the spirit, the force of Pele herself. And we can call that passion, we can call it compassion, we can call it empathy, we can call it a lot of things. Because this is what Pele brought. Humility, pono, all of these things are connected, of course, to Pele, as she is an aumakua to that family. Again, an akua to the greater family. Really no different than the story of Poliahu and Lilinoi. Because remember, Lilinoi and Kukahau'ula in the genealogy has a son, or a daughter, I think. Pele's son marries into Poliahu, and together they combine. So, Pele and Kamapua'a have a child, Poliahu Kukahau'ula have a child, and then the two come together, and ho'omau keiki no la'ua, ke kahi, ka mo'o kuau hau, o Pele, Kamapua'a, Lilinoi a me Kukahau'ula. And again, that's connected to Kana'e family on both sides. And so when I write Mele, it's to teach, first and foremost, the family who you are, where you are, and where you're going. Because you have to understand all of these things to know your pilina. Aia no ia oi ka pau ku'i vaina, aia ka po o aia ka hi'u. Now, it is there at Halema'uma'u that Pele made the ascent to become the Akua Wahine o Keahi, where her bones, through the aumakua process we know as kakuai, she was transfigured through the process to become the aumakua of that family. You see, that's the second verse. So again, my focus was not to rebuttal anyone's story about ʻAilaʻAu or any other akua o keahi of Hawaii nei, but it was to tell the story of our kupuna, our kupuna and our connection to this mo'olelo, this history, to this mo'okuauhau, this genealogy. All right, the third verse says, Ku wana pele I ka nu'u. The nu'u, the oracle tower, but the nu'u, the highest point. The highest point. And this is where Pele ascended to, and this is where Pele appeared. Ku wana pele I ka nu'u. Ike kuahivi Pele, ike kualono. Speaking of Mauna Loa, she's at the very summit of Mauna Loa. She appears in the mountains and the valleys everywhere. Her kinolau is in everything that is there. Kuana pele I ka nu'u, ike kuahivi Pele, ike kualono. Then it says, e ho'olono mai. E ka mea pi'ikoi. Listen, all of you that want to introduce a new myth, dethrone perhaps Pele, or tell another story, go right ahead. But listen, the ʻAilaʻAu and the lehua, meaning kapapa lehua ula, kapapa lehua kea, kapapa o Pele, these are all kuleana of Pele. So remember now, make sure your olelo is pono. When you tell your olelo, make sure your olelo is pono. Kuana Pele I ka nu'u, because she, her place is there at the top. Ike kuahivi Pele, ike kualono. She is everywhere. She is in all the trees and all the blossoms of the lehua. No Pele. It belongs to Pele. The authority, the rank, the reign, everything belongs to Pele. And again, this is about mo'okuauhau and mo'olelo. Because as we move into the future, our foundation is our mele and our mo'olelo. Having a good foundation in all of this gives us an opportunity to make the best choices for our future. You see, when you have a good foundation to stand on, you can make good choices reflecting your future. Remember, ayakava mamua pono. The future is in front of us for a reason, for a purpose. Look to your kupuna. You want to know and understand? Look to your kupuna. And I'm, you know, when the people tell me, well, we no more kupuna. What? What? Oh, we no more kupuna huno. What? We have kupuna huno. We have kupuna huno. We have kupuna in the oli. We have kupuna in the mele. We have kupuna in the mo'olelo. We have kupuna in the mo'okuauhau. But if you don't like take the time for learn and understand these things, and you don't like ho'olono mai and listen, then that's your choice. Our kupuna have always been with us. Our kupuna have never left us. Our kupuna have always been in the olelo Hawaii. Now learn. Ayano I ka olelo I nā kupuna. Nā kupuna o ka wā māmua. Nā kupuna o ka wā kahiko. Nā kupuna no ke kinohi mai. Nā kupuna au makua. Nā kupuna a kua. Ayano ka mana o ka Hawaii ka olelo. So don't play with the language. Don't play. Aya I ka olelo ka mana. Ka mana o ke akua, ka mana o na aumakua, ka mana o na kupuna. In the language, there is a mana. The mana of our akua, our aumakua, and our kupuna. So you like fata around, remember this. Aya ka olelo ke ola, aya ka olelo ka make. And I leave that with you. You decide what you like to. Because, you know, you get choice. Ho'olono mai, a ho'okuli e. Listen, or play deaf, and aglolo. All right, we're continuing on with our lecture today. Nawe ka aina I ka hiki mai o Pele. Ka nawe ana mai me ka hie hie. Hie hie Pele ka hiko hiko. Lei I ka lehua ha ena I ka opua. So, the land shifts as Pele arrives. You know, the plates, yeah, everything moves, yeah. So many times during our ancient history, yeah, the plates shift. And during Pele's arrival, the plates shift. Kanawe anamai me ka hie hie, and that time, those changes, the authority of that time, through the shifting, was part of the hie hie, the glory, the regalness, the royalty of course, Pele and the Pele family. Hie hie Pele ka hiko hiko, because not only did she come in her beautiful glory, but she's ka hiko hiko loa, from the very ancient time of our kupuna. Le I ka lehua ha ena I ka opua, and of course, being adorned, encircled in this cycle of not only the shifting, the explosion, the earthquakes, but the fire that glows red into the opua, the clouds. So, you know, historically speaking, I am trying to direct the understanding of these things that are very, very important, that are a great part of pono, that is a part of the lecture, which is mele mo'olelo. And of course, you cannot separate. When you speak mo'olelo, you're speaking also mo'okuauhau. So when you're speaking history and story, you're also speaking not only olelo, but you're speaking genealogy. That's very, very important. Puana ia mai o Pele HoʻI. So this is the story. And again, yeah, my mission, my objective is not to criticize your story. My mission, my objective is not to do anything other than to tell my side. Ina make no o ko e ho'olohe mai. Ina make no o ko e ho'okuli mai, e ho'okuli mai. Aia ka olelo kupuna ka oia i'o. Aia I ka olelo o na akua ka pono. If you choose to listen, mai kai, then listen. Listen and learn. If you choose to play deaf, well, then play deaf all you like. But one thing for sure is this. In the olelo of our kupuna is truth. And I already told you where that olelo is. In the olelo of our akua, there is pono. And that is truth also. So you begin to make your choices, where you want to stand, where you want to be, what you want to learn, what you want to understand, and where you want to go. Aia ka wā mamua pono. Aia ka wā mahope pono. E ono kākou I ki ia au huli huli nei. E koho kākou I ka pono. O ka pono ka hahai aku no I nā kini kupuna. Oia HoʻI ha. The past is in front of us, rightfully placed there. The future is behind us, rightfully placed there. Here we are in these present times, and the best choice is to follow your kupuna. Everything you need to know and everything you need to do is with the kupuna. The truth is with the kupuna. The pono is with the kupuna. All right? Let me give me some water. I'm going to sing it one more time. And we're going to end this mele and mo'olelo. I'm going to have some white alani. White alani. Orange juice. La 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 la. Okay, here we go. Hanaho. Kainoa o ki I mele. Aia ʻAilaʻAu Pele HoʻI he mele ke ia no ka hoʻohanohano no o Pele. A me kona mau moʻo o lelo, a me kona mau moʻo kuauhau. Ka pili no o Pele me ka ohana. Hoʻo mauno. Hoʻo mauno ka olelo Hawaiʻi. I ka olelo Hawaiʻi o nā kupuna ka oia I ono. Na ka olelo a kua e hoʻoponopono no I na mea apau. Aia ʻAilaʻAu o Pele HoʻI aia I ka lihi I puna I Hawaiʻi aia I ke komo o hale mau no ka noho mauloa e akua o Hawaiʻi Pele no ka moku o le hua kai o Pele a hiki I Hawaiʻi I ki lauea o ke ea o ke ahi he ea no Pele pi ia e la Pele I ka luna Pele Kuana Pele I kanu I ke kuahiwi Pele I ke kualono e hoʻolono mai e ka mea pi I koi no Pele ka ulu laʻau o ka lehua kie Pele Nau e ka aina I ka hiki mai o Pele ka nau e a na mai me ka hie Pele ka hiko lei I ka lehua haena I ka opua Puana ia mai o Pele HoʻI aia I ka li I puna I Hawaiʻi Aia I ke komo o hale mau mau no ka noho mauloa he akua o Hawaii Pele Pele Puana ia mai o Pele HoʻI aia I ka lihi I puna I Hawaii aia I ke komo o hale mau mau no ka noho mauloa he akua o Hawaii Pele Pele He mele he inoa no ke kupuna wahine o ka ohana o ia hoʻi o Pele noho mau no o Pele I luna I hale maʻu I kilauea he mele no ka ho o hano no ki ia kupuna no Hawaii nei. So, you know, just to honor our mele, our olelo, and our kupuna always, malama I nā kupuna. Aia ka wā mamua pono. Always follow, look to the kupuna. You need answers, look to the kupuna. You need to know where to go, look to the kupuna. And most of all, my bullshit, my nei. Stop the bullshit. I ka olelo ka oia I o in the language there is truth. Okay, until our next class, ana ke akua no ka hoʻomaikai, na ke akua no ka hoʻola, na ke akua no ka hoʻomaikai, e a aula o tutumean ka waikapu o Kolani, me kuʻumihi me ke aloha I ke akua, me kuʻumahalo I ke akua, no na mea maikai a pau. Until the next time, aloha, a hui ho kākou.